The highest I have seen 90,000 per month.
What is the biggest bonus you have ever received?
That year, I got 2 years bonus. I remember one time I received an order. For some reason, I keep thinking it's a sell order. I report to the client, see, I got the best price for you. I sold 1 million Maybank. Then the client's like, I told you to buy. To tell you all the truth, right? Bankers like to hire people
Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode on Mr. Money TV. Last few weeks, we posted a video about doctor, how much they earn. And everyone was shocked that a doctor can actually earn more than 100,000 ringgit a month. And since then, people have been asking, how much money can other careers make? So we put up a poll on our broadcast channel on our IG, and many of you wanted to find out how much investment banker actually make. So today in the studio, we have with us an ex-investment banker, and we're going to find out how much money they actually make. We have Frankie.
Yo, yeah, conveniently put into the studio to answer this question.
So the reason why we picked you, aside from being convenient, is also because as an ex-investment banker, you are likely going to be more honest with what you're going to say. You are ready to tell us in full honesty, right?
I will try to shed some lights on this so that for those of you who want to pursue this as a career, then at least you have a benchmark or a guideline and then to think whether you really want to go into this job or not.
Now, maybe let's start with this, right? Because a lot of people, when they hear the word investment banker, they thought that it is one kind of career. But actually the truth is, there are many kinds of investment banker, right? Because there's the brokerage side, there's the M&A side, there is the treasury side. There's all different sides, right? Why not let's start with this. Tell us how many types or how many category of investment bankers are there?
Now you put it like that, I honestly speaking, I don't even know how many kinds are there. Right?
Too many, right?
Right, too many. So simply put, right, in any kinds of career, let's say for example in engineering, you tell people you're an engineer. People will think, wow, engineer means you must have a spanner, you must have a hammer, right? But the fact is that there are different kinds of engineer. There is even like IT engineer, oil and gas engineer, many kinds of things. So in investment banking, it's the same as well. So we are typically being segregated into what kind of service that you offer to your clients. I was in one of the Malaysia largest investment bank. So obviously they offer full-fledged of investment banking services. So things like merger and acquisition, corporate finance, right? Then there's advisory, then there's brokerage, there's asset management, there's treasury, there's derivatives, there's many kinds. So I just name you like 7 to 8 like mainstream kind of operations that I used to work at.
So when we look at all these different types of investment banker, in your opinion, right, which one usually brings in the most money?
It would be ranked based on how much value that department can bring in for the bank.
Okay. What do you mean by how much value?
So when we talk about value, it's about how much work you put into it, and then in return, how much the client is willing to pay. So that will determine how big or how small is your pay lah. So for example, you need to work your sweat, you need to work like dogs like that, and then only you get peanuts, then obviously your pay wouldn't be very high lor. But if you are in a department where all you need to do is just paperwork, and then just let clients sign, and then you get a few million, then obviously those departments will get a lot more money. Now, it's not to say you really just write a few words, get clients sign, and then you get the money, right? So the value comes in the work that you need to put in to write those papers.
Preparation of the document.
The preparation of the paper, the research that you need to do, the justification that you need to make with regulators and things like that, to put everything into that thick document for your client to sign. That is the value that the bankers charge the clients for that huge amount of money.
Right, I see. So when you talk about investment bank, right? I understand that there's many different sides. Even within the brokerage side, there's like buy side, sell side, all these kind of different kind of thing, right?
Yep.
I think it's going to get really, really complicated. But maybe you can just rank for me, right? What have you seen so far? Does treasury usually make the most money? And let's talk about average pay lah. Let's not talk about the head of the department's pay. But I guess even that also you kind of have a rough gauge, right? So maybe you tell me like which kind of investment banking department will earn the most and rank it all the way.
The ranking of who make more money really depends on the market cycle. Okay. Yes. Let's play a scenario that now is a bull cycle, right?
Okay.
In a bull cycle, the advisory side of the investment banking probably make more money. compared to other departments.
All right.
Why? During a bull market, right, it's the best time for companies, small companies like us, to reap the opportunity to say, hey, I want to go IPO. Because that's where everybody will invest, right? Then they'll go to an investment bank and say, I want to go IPO. Can you help me to prepare the thing? That's where a lot more companies will come and the bankers will charge.
And say if I have a listing that is say 500 million market cap kind of listing, how much will the bank make out of this?
Okay, this is a very transparent number. If you just read the prospectus, right, they'll say, okay, I'm going to raise 500 million. Oh, this 500 million, how I would use the proceeds of the IPO. There's one line that will say listing expenses. That listing expenses, cheap one, let's say 300,000-400,000. The expensive one can be 2-3 million. So that's typically the range that investment bankers will get for providing that service for that client.
Right.
And then the best part is this few 100,000 to few million ringgit, right? It may seem like not a lot of money, right, from the bank perspective, because banks usually make billions of ringgit, right? But you have to think of it as an advisory team, right? Probably you only have like 8, 10, 12, 15 people. But this 8, 10, 12, 15 people is able to generate 2 to 3 million ringgit on one project.
Yeah.
So in a hot market, in a bull market, right? Let's say we have like 10 IPOs in that year and you get 5 of it, 50% of it goes to you, and each client pay you 2 million, right? So that 10, 15 people is generating
2 million, 20
2
million.
million. So that's how much that 10 people is able to generate. And as you can imagine, what kind of pay that these people is going to get lah.
And I suppose the listing fee is not the only money that they're making, right? There are also other money that can come out of it, which spills over to other departments.
Correct.
Right? So, for example, the private placement share, if it is under the same bank, then the broker side will also benefit.
Correct.
And then the fund management side will also buy in. They also make money via the appreciation of share prices.
Correct.
So, in a way, because they are the first team to bring it in, they are considered the money maker lah.
They are the really, really frontline people.
So that's in a bull market situation.
In a bear market situation, then these people will suffer. These people will suffer because nobody want to do any corporate exercises.
Okay.
So most likely they will just get their usual salary, of course, and probably as a token of appreciation at the courtesy of the management, they okay lah, then I give you a bit of bonus.
1 month, 2 months.
Yeah, 1 month, 2 months, something like that lah, right? But in a bear market, then the brokerage side of things becomes more stable, because brokerage business means day in, day out, as long as Bursa is open, then people will trade, right? And as long as people trade, the bankers will charge a commission, and that's where they get their revenue. So even in a very, very bear market, people would be panicked to sell, right? The more people sell, the more money the brokers will make, right? So in a bear market, you tend to see the brokerage side of the investment banking services is okay. But the advisory side really suffer.
So whether market good or bad, brokerage have this steady income coming in.
Correct.
So these two, right, usually who make more money?
These two usually who make more money. I would say the advisory make more money. Because most of the time, the market continue to grow. As the market grow, the money becomes bigger.
Right. Can we also say that is also because their ups and downs are higher? They may make 2 years worth of money and then next year they may not make money. But true. Brokerage will be steady making that money.
Brokerage is very steady, not much excitement like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what about those treasury lah, all those?
I would put those under the brokerage side of things as well, because every day the treasury also need to manage the money in and out, right? So every day they also get transaction and fees. So those businesses are more steady. So think of it this way, right? You can categorize them into two kinds of category. One is the hunter kind of business. So the advisory kind of bankers, they are more of the hunter kind. Today I go out, whether I hit a wild boar or an elephant, it depends on luck and the market condition. But a farmer business, all you need to do is to seed it properly and then water it and make sure the insect don't come and kacau your plants and all that. Most of the time, you will be able to harvest something.
I see. So last time in your position, were you a hunter or were you a farmer?
I was a farmer business. I was in the brokerage business. Yeah.
No wonder your skin a bit dark.
A bit dark, right? Because from the LED light, right? Or maybe from the 5 screen in front of me.
Yeah, that's right. Let's go into the pay part, right?
Yes.
Okay. is there a difference between the pay of the advisory side as a fresh grad and on your side there last time?
Subtle difference.
Subtle lah.
Yeah, but advisories generally will get slightly higher pay because of the long hours that they need to work.
Oh, I see.
Sometimes during peak period, they will work until 3, 4 a.m.
Correct. Someone need to go out with client, eh?
Correct.
Go out a day, come back, have to still work, eh?
Correct.
The fella drinking, you halfway and say, you make sure that document you prepare properly, tonight go back prepare after drink, right?
Correct.
Usually their base will be higher for the advisory side lah. What are the numbers that we are talking about last time? Maybe based on the latest that you hear also can.
Again, there are a few ways to go into investment banking, right? The most typical way is you go in as a fresh grad. They will have a management trainee program. During my time, a management trainee would get about 3,000 ringgit. So you go in as a generalist. They don't know what you can do. Then they put you into different departments. And then you rotate, and then you find one area that you are really interested in. Then you can propose it to your manager. If the manager wants you, congratulations. Then you go to that department. And if you're not, then see who will take you. And then from that day onwards, it's up to your own initiative to negotiate salary, what you can do, to get a higher pay. There's a second kind of route that you can go into investment banking is you know you're good. You sell yourself to your manager and say, this is what I can do, and therefore I demand this kind of salary. Now, it depends on the manager to think whether you are able to deliver and whether the pay makes sense or not. You will get the pay that you ask for. Between 1 to 3 years of experience, you will get the range of around 3,000 to 5,000.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
During my time, now
but
I'm
that's
not so
with
sure.
experience.
Yeah.
Now is the time to ask you this. What is the biggest bonus you have ever received?
The biggest bonus I received was in a bull market. I only received one time in my entire career of 10 years. That year, I got 2 years bonus.
24 months
24
of bonus.
months of bonus.
Oh.
But remember, I say the brokerage side of the salary is not so high one. So 24 months is not so high also.
So that time, what was your salary like when you got that?
I can't remember now, but probably high 4 digits.
High 40, so probably like 8K, that kind of number.
Maybe. I can't remember already, a very long time ago.
Wow, that's about 200,000, man, in total? Oh, that was the year that you bought your car, right?
With cash.
Yeah, I still remember. Okay, so this is what happened. I asked him out for lunch one day. We were at KLCC.
No. Oh, you always remember these kind of small little things.
Bro, how
I don't
to not
remember.
remember? Because when we sit down talking and suddenly you told me, you say, yeah, I bought a Honda City, I bought with cash. How to forget when your friend tell you he bought a Honda City with cash? And it was a $70,000, $80,000 car. And is this kind of bonus quite common in investment banks?
To my knowledge, the bank that I work in very seldom pay this kind of bonus. But other investment banks is rather common. To get 2 to 3 years is quite common. Very easy to tell one. You go to investment bank officers HQ, right? You go to the car park, right? If you see a lot of expensive cars there, right? Then you know these are the people that get all the big bonuses.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that the first tier banks will.
Yeah.
First tier is the international first tier that will be paying this kind of bonus. Can I say that a big part of the income of an investment banker tend to be at the bonus rather than the salary?
Yes, correct. For both advisory and also for the brokerage side of things. Because very simple, in a bull market, you manage to get so much money, right? Then obviously, if you don't get rewarded at the end of the year, something is wrong, right? So the management also know how to do one. But in a bear market, things are not so good. The banks also cannot pay you so much. But typically, everyone will have an amount that is enough for you to survive whether there's bonus or not.
Right. And so for yourself during that time, what's the average bonus you would say you would get?
So I would say throughout my 10 years career now, if you take an average of the 10 years, because sometimes high, sometimes low, right? I would say the range would be around 8-9 months.
Wow, so average is about 8-9 months.
Again, clarify, the brokerage side of things, the salary is typically lower compared to the other side one.
Okay, so now let's explore high earner. When you say high earner, what is the definition of high earner? Let's say if today you're working in an investment bank, you're head of department. What are the kind of salary that chances we're going to see? Now, we're talking about first tier Malaysian bank, like for example, your ex-bank.
So I wouldn't say that if you're at this department, head of department, then you'll get a certain amount of money. it still comes back to how much money you can generate. So I would say an average head of department in an investment bank would be in the range of, let's say, between 30 to 60,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
They also will usually be entitled for
Yeah.
that kind of
depending
bonus, which is 8
on
months, 9 months.
depending on the condition of the market.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now I wonder why I start my own business. Maybe I should work in bank. Yeah.
It's all about numbers. Yeah.
What is the most crazy amount that you have heard and you have seen in terms of bonus then?
Obviously, those top management people will get super, super high bonuses. Which if you want to find out, you can just look into the annual report.
Yeah, correct. You will be surprised at the numbers.
So those numbers we don't talk like, we talk about the normal head of department kind of thing, right?
That's right.
The highest I have seen is about 80 plus 90,000 per month.
Wow.
But this guy is
really bringing in the
is
money lah.
really good.
Really good lah.
Really good.
Right. And he also get like that kind of bonus. I mean, just say average 6 months.
Bonus, I don't know, but that is the salary that I heard of that he got paid.
Wow, that's crazy, right? And this is just Malaysian bank, right?
Malaysian bank.
Yeah, so imagine those working like JP Morgan.
But the amount of stress when you take that kind of money
That's true.
is a different level.
That's true. And I think when it comes to investment banking, there's another part that's quite entertaining is also the entertainment benefits, right?
Entertainment is not a benefit.
Okay. You want to explain that? Like because I recall the time that you will tell me crazy story of like how you'll bring some clients out, organize event, and it can be super costly, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, don't be surprised if you think about it in a private wealth side. When they organize events with their private wealth client, it is also very lavish. And in this case here, you are doing the same because as a broker at the point, you were serving institution clients, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, what kind of entertainment budget are we talking about?
Again, it is not a fixed number kind of things. Everything comes down to numbers, right? So if it's a big client, then obviously then the management will say, okay, you can spend more money on this client. How much really depends on how generous is the management. Sometimes it can be, I can give you 1% of the revenue.
Oh, percentage of revenue?
Yeah,
Ooh.
to spend on this client. So if the client give you 100 million a year, right? 1% is 1 million, So you can spend 1 million on this client. But that is the limit that you can spend. But how much you spend, depending on your strategy to use that money.
Right.
Yeah. Then if the client is a small client, then 1% doesn't make a lot of sense. Then probably you need to apply for a higher limit and say, hey, today I really hope to bring this client out for lunch because I want to pitch something to him. Can I ask for, let's say, 500 ringgit to bring him out for lunch? Then if the boss say, okay, then okay. If not okay, then sorry, too bad. Go and do your usual way. Just call and say, hello, I want to pitch you an idea. Yeah, like that.
Thank you very much for sharing all this information. Let us take a quick break, and after we come back, we're going to talk about how did you get into investment banking yourself and what were you doing, right? And then from there, we can kind of explore what are the quality of work like, what are different roles like, and to give you a more in-depth picture on how is it like being an investment banker and how to get there as well. All right, welcome back to the second part of this episode, and now we're going to explore with Frankie how did he got into investment banking, and hopefully this will serve as a guide for you guys and help you to discover a career there as well. So Frankie, I remember when you shared with me your story on how you got into investment banking, it was not really the common path, right?
Not the common
maybe
path.
you want to share with us how did you go, like after you graduated, what was it like?
So I had two offers. One was a management trainee program, 3,000 ringgit, right? And then the other offer was just 2,200 ringgit, but I will be placed directly into institutional broking, which is the department that I stay on for the next 10 years. So I had a dilemma, right? Which one to choose? One is 3,000, one is 2,002. But I know for the fact that if I choose the 3,000, the risk would be I will be rotated into different departments, and it would depend on which manager thinks that I'm useful and want to use me and therefore absorb me into the team. If not, there's a chance that I may be put into some departments that I don't want.
Yeah, like credit card sales, that kind of thing.
Something
right?
like that.
Yeah.
Something
Which
like
a
that.
lot of management trainee actually ended up in
Correct.
those departments.
So I thought, institutional broking. That's exciting and interesting, and probably is the path that I want to take. So I took the risk. I took the 2,002 instead of 3,000 and I went straight into that particular department. Yeah.
So, in institutional broking as a department, maybe first you can share with us, what does an institutional broking department do and what was your role there?
So to put it in a very, very layman term that everybody can understand, right, is that in the past when we still don't have all this mobile broking and stuff like that, you have to call the remiser. Hey, I would like to buy XXX stock. Can you please buy it for me? And then you have to wait for 10 seconds. Then the remiser will key in for you. Okay, bought already at this price. Then you say thank you. That remiser role was that kind of role that I was in, but in a bigger scale. Bigger scale in the sense that I don't deal with individual investor like all of us, but I deal with institutions like fund managers. So the clients would be the likes of EPF, PNB, insurance companies, asset management companies, and stuff like that. So they have their own team to call the broker and say, this is what I want to do. And we also have a team to execute those trades for them.
Can you give us a scenario of how it plays like? Like, let's say right now, a client calls you. What will he tell you? Does he tell you, like, I want to buy X stock at 4 ringgit and 99 cents? How does it go? Like,
in general, the process is the same as you and me calling the remiser and say, I want to place this stock. But the volume will be a lot larger. Okay. So let's say, for example, I want to buy 1 million shares of, let's say the biggest share is Maybank, right? I want to buy 1 million shares of Maybank. 1 million shares of Maybank is a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you just buy 1 million shares of Maybank, you are going to disrupt the market.
Yes. Suddenly you see Maybank share price go up.
Wow, like that, right?
Like that.
When we receive that kind of order, we would need to come up with a strategy of how to help the client to execute that 1 million so that it does not disrupt the market. At the same time, we help the client to get the best price of the day. But what I'm sharing with you is part of the function of the entire department. That function is usually the trading
team lah.
The trading team of the entire department.
Right, so you were a trader lah in that sense.
I was a trader when I got my 2,002 ringgit and I was put there.
So what you got is that someone will call you and they'll say, okay, I want to buy 2 million worth of this share.
Correct.
And then you need to figure out how do you buy it at the best price without disturbing the market on that day.
Correct.
Also need to use brain quite a bit also, huh?
Yeah, there's a formula one. So once you get a hang of it, so sometimes once you get a hang of it, right, you won't even need to think about the formula. You already roughly know what to do.
Right.
So you just do
it. And that's why until today you have a screen of a chart in front of you.
Correct. So
right?
I've been looking at the chart every single day for 10 years. So now it becomes a habit. Even when I'm on holiday, I will find a screen and just open it.
Actually, really, I'm not kidding. Frankie, it's like if there's any addiction, it's to his charts. But this is the best part. He doesn't really do technical analysis, right? But that's a topic for another day.
Correct.
So that's why you had the habit of actually buy sell, getting a pulse of how much to buy on that day, how much to sell at the best price on that day. That was how you actually developed that trading ability.
The skills. But I recall the first time I received that kind of call, right?
Tension.
1 million Maybank, how to buy?
and then the number damn a lot, right?
Yeah, that's because one wrong button, gone, because you cannot pull back one. Yeah, so that's the tension.
There's no control, alternate, delete, backspace, no.
No.
Wow.
Yeah, so I remember one time I received an order. The order was to buy a certain shares. For some reason, I keep thinking that it's a sell order. So let's say, for example, the client said, help me buy 1 million Maybank. Oh, okay, 1 million sell, right? So I go and sell 1 million Maybank. At the end of the day, I report to the client, see, I got the best price for you. I sold 1 million Maybank. Then the client's like, I told you to buy. So to cover the position, you need to do two things. First, you need to buy back 1 million share to cover your mistake. Second, you need to buy another million to give to the client. It was hell.
Are you like thinking about it also a bit emotional?
Yeah,
I can see like your eye a bit.
Yeah.
Like
correct.
red.
Correct.
Wow, this is the first time I see your eye red. Finally, I saw some emotion in Frankie. Were you like almost got fired or anything like that?
So I was a junior trader. So obviously fire me also no use. We mitigated the problem. We did all the things that needs to be done. And my boss was kind enough to say that let the department absorb this loss. Yeah. Wow. So I was quite thankful for it because with my salary at that time, there's no way that I can repay the money. I worked 10 years also cannot pay back.
Having said that, what was after being a trader? So as a trader, by year end also you get bonus, right? I suppose. And
correct.
it was the same lah.
Depending on how I
5-10
perform
months,
and what.
yeah. And actually it was a good choice, right? Because you think about it, if you were a management trainee for the next 2 years, you actually had no bonus. But this one, at least 6 months to 8 months,
Correct.
you actually earn more
But
than
the
you
learning
earn as a
curve is very
management.
steep lah, compared to management trainee lah.
Yeah. Okay, now let's finish those days of trader. So after trader, what did you do?
I graduated from university, but all a trader does is to technically press buy and sell. So one day I went to my boss and I said, hey boss, I studied so hard. I spent so much money, but today I'm just pressing 2 buttons, right? It's not very nice lah. Can I do something else? So my boss asked, okay, what do you want to do? Then I say, right, you know, those seniors over there, you know, they get to talk to clients, they get to banter with the clients on whether certain stock is good, certain stock is bad. That one seems very exciting. I want to try. And that role is a sales role. Then my boss said, okay, can, but you have no experience in sales. So I cannot put you straight into sales and then put the reputation of the bank at stake, right? So we need to slowly transition you. So happened at that time, the bank that I work with was trying to penetrate into new markets. Was trying to penetrate into East Asia, Japan, Taiwan, you know, that kind of stuff. And because I came from Chinese school, I speak Mandarin and I speak Japanese also. You are the perfect candidate to do that. So I was being put in charge to deal with our Japanese and Taiwanese counterparts to help them to sell Malaysian equities. So what I did was, instead of pitching to clients, I pitched to our partners so that our partners could pitch to their clients.
Right.
So that was the practice that I get.
Right.
So along the way, and the thing is, all our phone as brokers, they are all recorded one. So sometimes you'll hear the bosses listening to my conversation, you know, then they listen, see how I perform, see how I talk. Yeah, then eventually they say, okay lah, you do enough of that already. I think we really need help in the local business. Can you come back and help us in the local sales?
Oh.
So then I moved back here, then continue.
So how was the learning curve like from being a trader to sales?
Definitely more fun and what I wanted lah. Because instead of just trading, you get to really go into the fundamentals, understanding the business, and then understand from the client why they like certain things, why they don't like certain things. It helps me to understand why the market behaves like that, more in depth, instead of just looking at price and just buy and sell.
Yeah, so that's when you develop all these fundamental
Correct.
analysis skill. And I guess you also develop this idea like knowing that, okay, this brand, this manager like what kind of stock,
Correct.
right? Then you're like find the kind of thing that they like, is it?
Correct. And I also kind of know which fund managers are good at certain sectors and which they are more focused in certain kind of things. So you have to tailor to every single client.
So I suppose when you're in that position, then the bonus go even higher, right? Because now you're at the forefront again.
Correct.
Wow. Okay, so you did that for 10 years.
No, so I was in the banking industry for 10 years.
And
so
how long was this?
maybe 3 and 7. So 3 years as a trader and then 7 years in sales.
So among all your colleagues, what is the biggest bonus you have seen?
Around that
Also
range.
24 months.
Because usually when they declare is everyone almost the same one.
So now question is this, right? With so much money they've made before, means that
not a lot lah.
well,
Okay lah,
you
okay.
already hit plus bonus. You already hit 5 figure at 20 plus, plus bonus. Yeah, because every time your bonus is close to 1 year of salary. Yeah, so it means one shot you get 50,000, one shot you get 80,000 or even 200,000 after minus EPF. So what was the biggest purchase that you've made with the bonus?
The car. Honda City. Yeah, so that was the biggest. Then the rest of it I just some of it I give to my parents, some of it I just pay my house loan.
Right.
Then some of it I just keep.
So what's the most crazy thing that you have did with your money before?
Holiday.
Yeah, actually true lah.
I don't spend money. The most expensive thing is 10 years later I bought the house in BU lah.
Yeah, the 700,000
The
renovation.
700,000 renovation, everything gone.
So those of you are wondering why he got 700,000, because I can tell you I know him for so long, since 14 years old. He really don't spend on anything crazy. All right, so before we go, let's talk about some advice to the people, right? Because I believe that many younger people out there right now, they are thinking to themselves, hey, I also want to be an investment banker. How to actually be an investment banker? Because as we say, number one, there are multiple departments. Number two, there are also different pathways, right? And there are different knowledge that you need to get. How to actually get in as an investment banker?
Okay, I will answer these questions in two parts. So first is we target the people who want to go into investment banking. And the other day we had the money hackers in real life. So somebody really came up and asked that, hey, with an engineering background, do I have a chance to actually enter investment banking?
Oh, yes.
The question is, to tell you all the truth, right? Bankers like to hire people who don't have accounting and finance and investment background. They like to hire engineers. They like to hire legal. You know, they like to have a variety of things for a very simple reason, right? Because whatever business you are in, you have to deal with the bank. But if bankers only hire back people with financial knowledge, they would not know how to deal with engineering company, with legal company, with construction company. They wouldn't know. So in order to gain that knowledge, sometimes people with different profession have an upper hand compared to people like me who has an accounting and finance graduate. But typically once you go in, they will ask you to become an analyst, because they need your knowledge. They need your knowledge about tech. They need your knowledge about oil and gas. They need your knowledge about plantation to help them to know how they can make money from all these industries. So you become an analyst. So once you become an analyst, you gain certain knowledge and whatnot. Then from there, you progress and see what other roles that you can play inside. Don't be too bogged down and say, oh, I want to be an investment banker, so therefore I must study accounting or I must study investment-related courses. It's not so much of that. Those things you can learn on the job.
Actually, numbers are probably the easiest to learn, in my opinion.
Yeah, these days with AI, I think it's even easier.
That's right. Yeah. So I think, what people don't get is that if you actually know about AI, know about computer science, those all, it makes it much more valuable when you can go in there and then analyze the company and explain to your seniors, why is there a prospect? Why this one matters, right?
Correct.
Then only you know.
Okay, now the second part. Actually, when people talk about, I want to go into investment banking, right? Actually, what they are really asking is, I want to go into a field that I can make a lot of money. Right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
and actually, they don't even know what's investment banking.
Okay. So remember, I was doing sales, ma. So sales, apart from dealing with fund managers as client, we also meet a lot of companies. And therefore, today, FAQ show, we are able to invite so many CEOs to come on the show is because some of them, I dealt with them before, and some of them even became friends, right? So therefore, I invite them and say, hey, can you do me a favor? Come to the show. Through this experience of communicating and making friends with them, right, you realize, right, actually investment banking's earnings is not that great, right? There are other companies that pay a lot more money than investment banking. So the moral of the story is that it's not about investment banking, really. It's about how much value as a person you can bring to the organization. And therefore, it's up to the organization to say, because you do so much for the company, this is the compensation that I can give back. So it really comes back to what Mr. Money TV as a channel always say, right? How to negotiate salary with your employers and all that. It's really about how much value that you can give so that one day you receive it back. So find that value that you know that you can contribute, and then hopefully with your career and your direction of where you want to go, can make you even more money than just being an investment banker.
Oh, well said, Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like what you say. All right, thank you very much, Frankie, for entertaining us today and sharing with us all these insights into investment banking. For those of you out there, if you want to find out more about Frankie's channel, please go to the FAQ show.
Yeah.
He has many great interviews with CEOs. For those of you who want to learn about stock investing in a more in-depth manner, go and check out the FAQ show. And also, if you have any question about investment banking, you want to be inspired by this wonderful man, right? Wow.
Yeah, feel free to DM our FAQ IG as well.
Also tell us, if you want to hear about other careers, how much they make, tell us in the comment below so that we can find the relevant people to talk about it.